I'd like to encourage all Sikhs to complete a survey that SikhNet has put online. Now, this is an opportunity where Sikhs can tell SikhNet that we want them to change. We want them to drop this Yogi Bhajan, tantric yoga nonsense, and anti-Sikh idol worship that they've been doing over there at SikhNet. I also want to encourage them at SikhNet to stop censoring all these comments that are legitimate criticisms of SikhNet and Yogi Bhajan. This is also what we want to put in the survey that SikhNet has online there. That we want SikhNet to open their forums and to invite the entire Sanghat to participate in helping SikhNet and these Yogi Bhajan people become true Sikhs. Now, I've put this link to the survey that SikhNet has put online at the bottom of the description of this video. So I'd like to encourage everybody to go to the description of this video, and you can find that link to this survey. You'll also find a link to my Facebook page, which has a lot of really revealing pictures about what's going on over there at SikhNet. I'll show you a few of these pictures here about the idol worship, about the worship of Yogi Bhajan, and about what SikhNet's true agenda is, where they're promoting this Yogi Bhajan Tantric Yoga. SikhNet collects hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally. I saw just recently in their last donation drive how they had collected at least $200,000. And this is just what they're telling. And they use this for what? For promoting Yogi Bhajan's Tantric Yoga. I don't really see much on the SikhNet website that is really about true Sikhi. They spend their money in other areas, I think. And what it should be going for is it should be going for reporting about Sikhs. They do none of their own reporting. They have none of their own journalists, by their own admission. And I see cartoons there. I see you know, a fancy kind of built website, but not things about Sikhs who are living the real Sikh lifestyle. They may have some things, but they certainly don't need this hundreds of thousands of dollars for what they're doing there. So I encourage also, you can put in the comments there about how they can hire some real journalists that are Sikhs and investigate these matters. That whole matter with Singh on the hunger strike, they were very poor in covering that. I also noticed I was at a Sikh conference here at Stanford, not too far from here where I live in the city, and there was nobody from SikhNet representing their organization. Not one of the Yogi Bhajan people attended that conference. It was a very good conference. There were a lot of Sikh youth from all over the world who came and at the Stanford conference there. My friend Baba Singh, who I lived with there at the Gurdwaras in India during the 1980s, he spoke there about his experiences with Singh Venerwali. And this was a very good talk. SikhNet didn't cover any of it. And he told what was really going on there, how Singh's men were very devout, and all of these accusations that the Indian government was levying against Venerwali were completely false. The Indian government was trying to project Sachranel Singh as being a terrorist and killing innocent Hindus, which was not the case at all. I was there also in 1984, in 1982, in October. I was there for about a month when I was visiting. I met Sachranel Singh myself, and he was a very devout Sikh, and his men were also the same way. So this was a very good talk that Baba Nam Singh gave there at this Sikh scholars, they call them, Sikh scholars there at the Stanford University campus. And they'll be having another conference there, not at Stanford, but at Davis, UC Davis here in June, I believe. So I encourage all Sikhs to come to that. And I encourage also SikhNet and the Yogi Bhajan people to attend this as well. Really learn about what's really going on in the Sikh community and what Sikh youth are really interested in. There was about, I'd say, several hundred that attended that conference. It was very good. They also talked about health among Sikhs. They talked about a lot of different issues. They were very, very good. Unlike SikhNet, who they seem to be stuck in this adolescent mode and bowing and surrendering to all these Yogi Bhajan fantasies about this tantric yoga and all these things like that. So I want to encourage people to write SikhNet, tell them that we don't want this Yogi Bhajan fantasy garbage out there. So here's some of the pictures. This is a picture of Yogi Bhajan that stands, it's a very huge picture. It's, you know, very big, about 8 foot tall, I would say. And it's in the Gurdwara there, inside the Darbar of the City Guru Granth Sahib there in Espanola, New Mexico. So we want to encourage SikhNet to take a proactive role in removing this from the Darbar Sahib there. It's a very ugly tantric painting that somebody envisioned of Yogi Bhajan controlling. It just looms over the Gurdwara there. It's really awful. In fact, when they bring the Guru in for Prakash and also for Sukhasan, they bring the Guru by this Yogi Bhajan tantric painting, and it just looms over there. It's really an awful scene, and we should not have these pictures of Yogi Bhajan in the Darbar. There's others too in the Darbar there of the City Guru Granth Sahib there in Espanola, New Mexico, and this is where SikhNet's offices are. Their offices are right in the same building as where this really ugly painting of Yogi Bhajan looms over the Gurdwara and over the City Guru Granth Sahib. It's been there ever since Yogi Bhajan was alive, probably been there now for at least 15 years. So Yogi Bhajan was completely aware of it. In fact, he, I believe, instructed that it be put there in the Gurdwara. Baba Nam Singh gave a very interesting account of Yogi Bhajan while he was at the Sikh conference there at Stanford. When he was there in the Hari Mandir Sahib, Yogi Bhajan was being served Kar Prasad after the Ardas and Hukamnama was taken there. And so Yogi Bhajan started to eat the prasad before the Guru was served, and everybody was shocked. So Baba Nam Singh, or actually Yogi Bhajan, said, "What's wrong?" to Baba Nam Singh, who was sitting next to Yogi Bhajan. And Baba Nam Singh said that Yogi Bhajan said to him, he said, "What's wrong? I'm the Guru," he said. Yogi Bhajan said. This is just absolute sacrilegious statements. How dare Yogi Bhajan say that and do that? So we want to encourage SikhNet, these Yogi Bhajan people, to drop all this Yogi Bhajan nonsense. This is something else that Yogi Bhajan put in place there, this golden idol of Baba Siri Chand. This is at his death place, and there's also one that's right there at the entrance to the Espanola Gurdwara that sits outside there. I was there, a year or so ago, and it was still there. People had been putting donations at its feet. It was just like being at a Hindu mandir, you know. You just don't even see the difference. You can see the Yogi Bhajan people here around this idol of Baba Siri Chand, meditating, worshipping. But this is a Yogi Bhajan's death place. They do this every year, maybe more than one time a year. And Guru Gobind Singh clearly told us not to worship at the graves of the dead. And this is where Yogi Bhajan died. The Yogi Bhajan people memorialize his place of death, and they worship this really ugly idol of Baba Siri Chand. You can see here, I'll put it up closer for you to see. And this is totally against Sikh teachings. So we want to, again, encourage SikhNet through filling out this survey to drop this Yogi Bhajan nonsense. And Yogi Bhajan was a strong supporter of Indira Gandhi. You can see him here in this picture where he is giving gifts and slightly bowing to Indira Gandhi. And we all know that this murder, Indira Gandhi, attacked the Darbar Sahib, the Golden Temple as Westerners call it, and killed thousands of Sikhs. It went on for years and years and years. And Yogi Bhajan was a very good friend of hers. There are other pictures which I cannot show you because SikhNet has censored them and claimed that they are copyrighted by them, that show Yogi Bhajan with his students there, posed with Indira Gandhi. He taught her yoga. He was a great friend of Indira Gandhi's. You can see it up close here. This is something that SikhNet wants to hide, and we don't want SikhNet continue this censoring policy that they have against Sikhs. We want to get this all out in the open, bring it all out, so that the Yogi Bhajan students and the 3HO people can really see the truth about what's going on. I also want to point out about how Yogi Bhajan's organizations are closely tied together. All of the SikhNet and all of the Yogi Bhajan organizations, all the 3HO, the KRI, which is the Kundalini Research Institute, they're all tied in. This is a flow chart showing the hierarchy. And so the board of directors sits at the top, and then the SikhNet is part of that, all these 3HO organizations. It shows it more clearly here too, this lawsuit where they were fighting over the billions of dollars that Yogi Bhajan made from selling yogi tea and these Kundalini yoga kriyas and things, which, by the way, they sacrilegiously use pictures of the Sikh gurus in selling the tea. They also use the pictures of the Darbar Sahib, Golden Temple, in packaging and selling their teas and candies. They have this Waheguru chew that uses Gurbani, and it's really shameful how they exploit the Sikh religion. So this shows here clearly how SikhNet is tied in with all of these organizations. You can see KRI, Kundalini Research Institute, and all these other 3HO organizations that are tied in with SikhNet. They're all part and parcel of the same. And SikhNet receives donations, receives support grants from all these other organizations, 3HO Foundation, Golden Temple Foods, this is called Security, which is a real big billion-dollar business there. They all receive donations and grants. The other thing that I think Sikhs should be aware of is that your donations, if you donate to SikhNet, you really don't know exactly where they're going. They're all tied in with this. And the new board of directors has members on there like this Guru Singh and others who participate in these Hindu fire pujas. I've got pictures on my website about how this Guru Singh has participated at the Pramatna Kirtan Ashram in these fire pujas, which are against Sikh teachings and against the Sikh Rahat, idol worship, Hindu artis, and this Anju Kaur, she goes there every, maybe several times a year actually. She's been going there several times a year. And she took her direction from Yogi Bhajan, who participated in pujas there. I got pictures of Yogi Bhajan participating there. when I was there in India, stuck in India, I was arrested on false charges, and so I really had an opportunity to investigate a lot of these things. I read about this in a book I wrote, Confessions of an American Sikh. I learned that this Yogi Bhajan had a Hindu pundit there who did astrology for his family and all of Yogi Bhajan's family. So it was really an eye-opener for me to see how Yogi Bhajan was really more of a Hindu than a Sikh. He did all these Hindu practices. He had us doing all these pujas and making black grams on Saturday to get rid of negative effects of Saturn, this type of thing. It's total astrology. It's totally into Hindu practices. So anyway, this lawsuit that they were fighting about, all this money, came to a head. And so there was a settlement agreement. You can see the front cover here is a settlement agreement. And part of that settlement agreement, all these different entities, including SikhNet, have agreed not to disparage. This is non-disparagement agreement here. You can see here at the bottom of this page, which means basically that they cannot criticize Yogi Bhajan or any of these teachings. So they are bound by the settlement agreement to not criticize Yogi Bhajan. And not only that, which is very disturbing, is very revealing, should be understood by Sikhs, is that the Yogi Bhajan people have to teach the Sikh religion as taught by Yogi Bhajan. It says it right here in this management of the related entities, number 7 of the settlement agreement, clause B, or paragraph B. It says the Sikh religion, or the technology of Kundalini Yoga, should be taught as taught by Yogi Bhajan. The boards they control will not engage in a witch hunt or mass firings. So this shows that if there's a conflict between Yogi Bhajan's teachings and those teachings of the Sikh Rahat or the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib, guess what? The 3HO people have to follow the teachings of Yogi Bhajan. That's very disturbing. And I made a video about this. SikhNet got it deleted off of YouTube, saying that it interfered with their personal privacy or something like that. So, again, please go to the SikhNet survey, give your opinions about why SikhNet should change these things, and let's put more pressure on SikhNet. Let's reach out to them and bring them into the Sikh community so that they can become true Sikhs. Thank you for your time. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.